The foreigner are allowed to own the house, but they are not allowed to own the land.
Do I need to set up a company for that?
No, not at all. Lease 30 years plus, something like that.
30 years plus, but what happens after 30 years?
Not too complicated, but it's very sensitive. First of all, how do you find a Thai partner, which I don't want to know. Secondly is that, can you trust this one? Because he owns the majority of your shares of your company that is your investment in. For me, it's a very gray area over there. Please do the due diligence before you buy it. Please, like, really, really please.
I'm dreaming about the time when I come to just get the consultation to buy my house. When it's gonna...
When it's going to happen?
When it's going to happen, I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready now.
Okay, cool, wow.
So, good morning, Jimmy.
Good morning, George.
After a long break.
Long time no see, of course.
Yeah, I'm happy that we can find some time again to talk about some legal stuff.
Yes.
We already had the topic of buying a condo in Thailand, and
correct.
that one was quite easy for me to understand. And we're gonna go to the next one, which is buying a house.
Which is more complicated, yes.
Very complicated. Too many questions are not clear at all.
Yes. Hello everyone. Welcome to Wise Counselor. We are the law firms based in Thailand, in Bangkok, in Samui, and we have a branch in Sweden and also in China. Now we are conducting a legal business that we're giving a consultants, and of course we are helping people to conduct the business in Thailand legally.
Let's start with the land. Are allowed to own the land?
Okay, in principle, right? In principle, no. Foreigners are not allowed to own the land, except has been allowed by the law. The author law, except the land law. Because in Thailand we have a law about, we call it Code of Land, right? The Code of Land is not allow the foreigner to own the land, okay? However, the other laws can allow, or in a certain situation, or if such foreigner has meet the certain criteria point, okay, according to the Code of Land, or criteria qualifications, so they can own the land. Let me give you some example, right?
Please.
For this, right? If you as a foreigner want to buy a land in an industrial zone, industrial park, right? Such industrial park, okay, has another special law to govern.
I see.
So as a foreigner, you can buy those land.
All right.
But it's in the industrial park anyway.
All right.
All right. This is for example. Another sample is that you are conducting a kind of specific business that is being promoted by the government, what we call Board of Investment or BOI in short. All right. In those investments, right, if you are conducting a certain business and then you are applicable to apply to get the permits from the government to own the land to make your office, and of course maybe you as a owner, that office can have your residentials.
I see.
Something like that. So that is different law than the Code of Land, okay? And that's maybe we talk in another investment scenario. But I believe your question is that like a very common foreigner that
the land for building my own house.
Yeah, residential or something like that. Right. I would say that in principle, no. Okay. Right. However, you have to separate the land and the house. In terms of legality in Thailand, though, the foreigner are allowed to own the house, but they are not allowed to own the land.
So how does it work?
Okay, the things is like this, right? I have seen, right? Normally the land's owned by other people, or maybe the foreigner, like making a very long lease agreement with the landowner and build their own house there.
Okay, so the first option is to lease the land,
yep,
and to, let's say, buy the house or build the house. Or build the house.
Correct.
Buying the house is going to be the same like I'm buying the condo. It's going to be more or less.
It will be actually easier to buy just a house, because in order to buy a condo, you need to show the foreign exchange transcript, which is FET.
All right.
Right, document to show that the money is from overseas. However, in order to buy a house in Thailand, as a foreigner, just a house, you doesn't require to show any document except the money.
I see.
Yeah.
If I lease the land, so do I need to set up a company for that?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. If you want to lease a land, you just lease 30 years plus, something like that.
30 years plus, but what happens after 30 years?
You can do some kind of agreement to renew another 30 years too.
And after 30 years, is there any way like the owner of the land will say like this agreement will not really work?
Honestly, normally it doesn't have much of the problem over that. But again, the problem is that what you're trying to tell to me is that, okay, after 30 years, if the landowner or his successor right, doesn't allow you to rent it anymore, and you already pay for it, right? So I can say to you that this one can be enforceable through the legal procedure. Is enforceable.
There is a way I can get another extension?
30 years, correct.
There is another additional document.
Yeah, we call it additional WOW document, a statement, stating that is a statement, a kind of statement from the landowner.
Okay.
Stating that by the time the duration of the existing lease contract is expired, I solemnly swear, or I taking a vow that I will renew it for another 30 years. And this right shall go to my succession, something like that.
Okay, and during this lease period, the owner cannot change the ownership, cannot sell the land, right?
As a matter of fact, they can. However, you should have done in the lease contracts, right? In the lease contract, right? You'd have to put in the contract that in the event that the landowner has changed their mind to sell the land out, okay, he will have to make sure, or he will have the obligation that this right going to, or this obligation towards the tenant going to the new owner too.
All right. All right.
Because by the time they change the owner, you will know it as a tenant anyway.
So if I just, as a physical person, I don't need to make a company, I can just make a lease for 30 years. That
Correct.
Doesn't really mean I have to own the land.
No.
If I can make a way for leasing it 30 years and then 30 years again.
Correct. And from my experience, nobody hold it for 30 years too. Normally, sorry, but from my experience, it's like they die before, or they sell their right before it's 30 years.
I can sell my rights of lease, right?
Correct.
To, let's say, somebody too, right?
Correct.
Okay, but there is some option to have a company, to open a company, to own the land, right? Or is it too complicated?
It's not too complicated, but it's very sensitive. Because in terms of to open a company to own the land, such company must have a Thai partner, must have a Thai shareholder.
All right.
Who holds more than 51%.
All right.
Okay. And for me, it's very sensitive because of, are you comfortable to have someone really like, maybe you don't have this Thai partner, right? First of all, how do you find a Thai partner, which I don't want to know. Secondly is that, can you trust this one? Because he owns the majority of your shares of your company that is your investment in.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a very gray, for me, it's a very gray area over there. And very sensitive too, because
If at some point the Thai partner would change his mind, he can...
in some point, yes. If he change his mind, he kick you as a minority voting out.
I see.
It's another story. Which in our firms, we have a lot of cases like that.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Okay, I see. Good to know. Wow, but that was a news for me that as a physical person, I can just lease it. So
yeah, you can just lease it. Make it very, for me, right? Make it direct, make it simple.
The main point is, for me, I understand that the risk is, the main risk is having the Thai partner, which is you like a foreigner, you come to the country that you maybe
Correct.
don't really know, and you want to invest in buying a house, you don't really understand the laws completely well, and this is the risk. The risk that maybe you live all your life with your friends, and maybe even to your friends you cannot trust 100%,
No.
and here you have to trust to someone you don't really know, and then this is your partner. He can be influenced for your
Correct.
for your ownership of the
Correct.
company, and then
Correct.
ownership of the land and the house.
You can rent it. Many foreigners misunderstand about this. Yes, they can rent it. They can, definitely can. They can be the tenant. They can, okay, let's say you have the money today, and then maybe somebody's come to you and say, hey, you know what, I want to borrow your money, but I don't have any guarantee, so can I use this house to mortgage? Then yes, they can use this house to mortgage to you as a mortgagee.
All right.
Too. It doesn't mean that you cannot. You can do. The only thing you cannot do is that you have an ownership over the land.
All right. Okay.
Okay, that's completely different. Right? Because you lease the land or you rent the land, you only taking a possession right, not the ownership right. It's different.
All right. All right. All right. I see. Okay. If the property is under construction, how do I make sure that the developer has all the necessary papers to build, to make the construction taking place?
I would suggest before, as of this issue, I would suggest please do the due diligence before you buy it. Please, like really, really please, because from our experience also, even here or in Bangkok or we have faced a lot of cases that occur after the deal is done.
All right.
And by the time the client is already paid the money, if our client is the person who buy it, or by the time the purchaser already received the money and the problem coming up, you already paid the money, but actually because you didn't do any of the due diligence or any of the investigation of the land or even investigation of the permits that has been done, maybe legally or illegally, the worst scenario is that the title, which is the land ownership, has been issued illegally.
Okay.
Illegally means that such title will be revoked in the future.
Okay.
So you invest in something that you are at risk to lose everything in the future.
Okay. Okay.
We have a couple of cases already, not a dozen of cases already on this scenario. Therefore, I would suggest please actually do the due diligence. Not only that, like when you asking for the construction permits, right? And then the building permits has state one thing, and then by the time the contractor has made another things, then you also are very risky yourself that in the future somebody comes and say, hey, you know what, this is wrong, and then you have to demolish some part of your house, which in that time, believe me, you are not going to be very happy.
It can happen like by the moment I want to sell my house, for example, right?
No, normally it's have a channel of time too, that if something very wrong, so the the municipality people have to come and check within 120 days, something like that.
All right, okay, I see. So the due diligence is made by the law firm.
Is better.
Correct, right?
Correct.
So before I invest anything, I check everything.
Yes.
I mean, you check everything.
I mean, yes, of course. We check everything. We have to check everything.
So do you physically visit the construction area, inspect the...
In terms of doing due diligence, yes.
Okay.
We have to go there. In terms of checking everything on site, checking the physicality of the properties is a must. Because the internet is very, very good, right? So some of the foreigners buy it on an internet. Very common too, right? However, sometimes they buy it and then by the time we check it, they don't have even an entrance.
All right, so it means it happens.
It happens. It really happens.
Okay.
I would suggest, yes, we go. We're taking photos, we check.
Okay, the question I have is, what are the types of title deeds in Thailand? What should I know about it?
First of all, the title deeds in Thailand is a document to show the ownership over the land. Okay?
All right.
The title deeds. In Thai language, we call it Chanot, or in English, is a title.
All right.
Okay? First of all, the actual title that is having an ownership, really ownership, according to the law over the land, there is only one kind, which is called 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐫𝐦 in Thai language anyway, which we call it Chanot.
All right.
Right. However, we have 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐷, which is another thing. Okay. And the other thing like 𝐂𝐿 or 𝐂𝐿, which is in Thai language anyway. In short, I will make it from very complicated thing to very simple things. First, if you want to buy a land, one thing, you make sure you have an ownership right over such land.
Okay.
Which is called 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐫𝐦.
All right.
The less better is that you buy 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐷, which is a kind of title too, but it shows only possession right.
All right.
But in Thailand land system, this 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐬𝐷 can be upgraded to ownership too.
Okay.
However, I would suggest, right, looking only for these two. The other thing, big no-no. If you are not so familiar with Thai law yet, big no-no for you.
Okay. All
okay.
Right.
Just to give the idea is that looking on the title that have the ownership, that's it, done.
Done. Right.
Yeah. Because if you want me to explain about what different in each kind, it will cost you another days.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so we started with owning a house, buying a house, and any specific thing you want to mention about the fees or taxes different from the condo buying?
Is not so different anyway. However, in practical, what we do is that first of all, you have to make, when you make a contract to buy properties like that with the purchaser and the owner, you have to make sure that you guys agree on the government fee and other taxes stuff.
Okay.
Because you are involving one, transfer fee, two, duty fee, which is a duty tax, okay? 3, maybe happening personal income tax. 4, if you have special business tax, and like these 4 taxes is involving for sure.
Okay.
Okay. First, you agree on each other. Firstly,
all right.
Who will bear what?
I see.
Normally, as a purchaser, I would say, if I were the purchaser, I would say I will only take the burden of half of the transferring fee and the duty fee only.
All right.
Because it's the fee that happening actually regarding the transfer. But the other taxes like a special business tax, personal income tax should be on the seller
side. Yes.
Of course, seller side. Yeah, this is the 4 taxes. However, if you want to know how much it is, I suggest in practical, you give all the information of the Chanot and title and other stuff, right? If you can read Thai language, you go to the land department website, you can just put all the figures in and then voila, you got the fees already.
All right, I see.
But if you don't, lawyer.
I see.
They'll help you on that.
I see. Okay. And if I'm married to a Thai wife,
yes,
there is any benefits? Can I own the land after I'm married, or I have to be a citizen of Thailand?
No, it's like this, right? Even you married a Thai lady, right, or a Thai husband, right? It doesn't allow you to buy a land yet.
Okay.
Okay, because you are not Thai citizens.
All right.
Of course, when you become Thai citizens, you can buy a land. All right, that's simple.
Okay.
The thing over this one is that the Thai husband or the Thai wife that bought the land in their name, by the time they married you or married a foreigner, such land, if it bought by your money and her money, or maybe your money only, it's become a married property.
All right.
It become a married property means if you divorce, it have to be sell out and split the money half. If it become a married property.
Okay.
Be careful. Huh? This one is very carefully because in terms of family law, right? I from my experience, from our firm experience too, the foreigners they buy it for the Thai ladies.
Okay.
For an engagement gift. Then it's another story.
All right.
Then it belongs to the lady.
I see.
Or they buy it before they're married, but they give it away to the Thai lady. Then it's another story too.
Okay.
Right. So and my suggestion over this, by the time you buy it, as you have a Thai wife or you have a Thai husband whatsoever, keep the record of where's the money come from.
Okay.
When do you buy it?
All right.
And if possible, before you're married, okay, give it a bit, do the prenuptial agreement, please. It helps you a lot, believe me.
Oh yeah, one more question. I found an article about like the government proceed to changing the law to allow foreigners to buy the land in Thailand.
Yes, it has been discussed over this one like couple of years already in the cabinet, and then now they issue a law too that if you're investing more than like more than $1 million US,
okay,
and then you apply and then you will get allowed by the land department, something like that.
All right.
Yeah. However, this is like in a very early state,
Okay.
because there is many of the political issue behind, so it's not that solid yet.
But they did approve some kind of conditions
Correct.
that allows you to
Correct.
with a big investment.
Correct.
I see. For somebody who wants to invest in Thailand's house, what is your legal advice?
My legal advice, first of all, do the due diligence, please. Please, big please on this one actually. Right. Secondly, do things very direct and straightforward. It's easier and it's much safer. However, if you choose to go in not a very straightforward way, okay, make sure everything is safe, like everything that your consultant say, right? Everything that you've been consulting from any law firms in Thailand too, I would say you should have asked that where is the reference clause, where is a reference law clause that you can see, and you at least you make sure that you will not get screwed in the back after.
All right.
This is actually applying to every consultation that you make in the future, not only about the buying land and house and stuff like that, right? Maybe today you want to conduct some certain business, and maybe you ask, hey, do I have to have this license? Hey, I am about to do this, do I have to have this license? And then maybe your lawyer said yes, your lawyer said no, right? Please ask, please. Ask that, okay, where is the reference? I need the reference. Because the reference must be coming in the form of law clause, stating that according to this law, updated, done. This is my biggest advice, because we meet a lot, and then without the reference, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But the reference make you sure, at least, that hey, this is written.
I see. I see. All right. Okay. In general, it's not so complicated as I expected it's gonna be.
No, leasing is not at all. Buying a land with the nominee staff, I would say, and proxy staff, which is in a gray area, let's say that as a matter of fact, I don't recommend.
I see. All right. So thank you again for your time.
You're welcome, Edward.
And I hope to see you again.
Sure.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you have questions about opening a company in Thailand, leave them below in the comments so I can get the answers in my next videos. Join me in Facebook and Telegram group. Follow my channel to see more videos like that. Thank you for watching.